So yesterday we discussed quite a bit about what exactly Kubernetes is, right? How exactly the stuff works out. What is Docker? What is containers? But today we are going to go and into the deployment mode, right? How do we deploy the Kubernetes cluster? We'll be talking about the sizings and everything else, right? We'll be talking about the capacity planning, all those things. Now, setting up a Kubernetes cluster is pretty easy, to be very frank, but then again, you need to understand a bit of concept related to it, that how exactly or what exactly you are going to run. So when you're talking about the basic capacity, ठीक है, पहले basic capacity के बारे में बात करते हैं कि basic capacity कितनी है. Just give me a sec. Let's suppose take an example. अगर आप बेसिक कैपेसिटी की बात करते हो, जैसे कि अभी कुबरनेटीज का जो K8 है, K8 का जो लेटेस्ट वर्जन चल रहा है, दैट इज V1.19. ठीक है. सो इट सेज if you want to create a Kubernetes cluster, you cannot have more than 5,000 machines or servers, right? That's the limit. ठीक है. इनको Kubernetes के टर्म्स में हम लोग नोड भी कहते हैं, नोड्स. Right? So what they say is this, you cannot have more than 5,000 nodes, 5,000 physical server, right? अगर आप एक Kubernetes cluster ready कर रहे हैं, so the maximum number of nodes which you can run is 5,000. ठीक है. Now inside the cluster, the number of pods, ठीक है, pods हम लोग पढ़ेंगे आगे चल के, ठीक है, we'll be understanding what pods is. The number of pods is equal to 150,000. ठीक है. इससे ज्यादा पॉड आप अपने क्लस्टर में नहीं चला सकते. मैक्सिमम, दिस इज द नंबर ऑफ पॉड which you can run. Then we have containers as well. The number of containers which you want to run. So the standard value is, I guess, 300,000, right? So the maximum number of containers which you can run inside a Kubernetes cluster, which a Kubernetes cluster can manage, is 300,000. Right? It's 300,000. And then, like, how many pods can we deploy on a node? You say 100 nodes, 100 pods per node. You should not run more than 100 pods on per node, right? This is more like a standard setup, right? Which Kubernetes supports. That this is the amount of, you know, resources which are supposed to be run, right? When you're talking about a Kubernetes cluster setup. राइट गाइस, ये एक स्टैंडर्ड कुछ वैल्यूज हैं जो आपको कुबरनेटीज डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पे भी मिल जाएंगी, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट इट इज. This is what it turns out to be, that when you're talking about setting up a cluster, right, what exactly you need to set, right, or how much is the number of resources which you want to set it up.
And this is specific to the version.
Vishal, I think audio difference आ रहा है. I'm
मुझे
not sure
आवाज नहीं
मेरे
आई
साइड में
दोनों में से किसी भी.
को मिल रहा है.
क्या कह रहे हैं?
ऑडियो डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहा था, तो आई थॉट मेरे को ही आ रहा है कि बाकी लोग को भी आ रहा है. बीच बीच में ऑडियो रुक रहा है जैसे.
गाइस, आप लोगों के लिए रुक रहा है या चल रहा है?
नहीं, ऑडियो रुक तो नहीं रहा है.
नहीं, ऑडियो इज ओके फॉर मी.
अच्छा,
आई थिंक ये आपकी तरफ से होगा कुछ शायद.
बीच में थोड़ा स्टक हो रहा था.
तो ये जो नंबर्स हैं, दिस इज स्पेसिफिक टू द वर्जन, राइट? 1.19 एंड दिस में चेंज इन 1.20 में भी, राइट?
अभी लेटेस्ट वर्जन पिछले 1.5 साल से 1 साल से तो यही है, ठीक है.
हाँ.
If they are planning to release the new version, obviously वो अपने sizing के ऊपर देंगे बाकायदा कि what is the current size which the cluster support. But obviously this is the standard, right? This is the one which we are using right now, right?
Okay.
तो अभी stable जो है ये चल रहा है. Most probably जो next stable version आएगा would be later on, right? अभी this is the latest version which is running right now, 1.19, right? ये I guess अगस्त में आ गया था इस साल, और उसके बाद इसके स्मॉलर वर्जन तो आते ही रहते हैं, नो डाउट, राइट? तो हर 6 महीने में रहता है इसका प्रोडक्ट का ना नया वर्जन आना और ये आना. तो लेट्स सी हाउ इट गोस, करेक्ट. So this is a standard what you call values, right? This is what it says, that these are the amount of configuration which Kubernetes can support, right? Now the question comes in that, to be very frank, it's not a standalone machine on which you are going to configure the Kubernetes cluster. You have to understand that there are more than one method to right size your cluster, right? And it entirely depends upon your application. It depends upon the designing of your application, how exactly it's going to support the reliability, or the robustness. All those things will come into the picture. So uh, you have to choose the perfect size, right? uh, like that particular point is very critical when you're talking about setting up a Kubernetes cluster, right? कितनी machines लेनी है, किस type से machines लेनी है, right? क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा, ठीक है? जैसे कि let's suppose take an example, मैं अगर आपको बोलूं कि एक बेसिक कंप्यूटिंग पावर पे बात करते हैं, ठीक है? मेरी बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है कि मुझे लेट सपोज 16 सीपीयू कोर चाहिए, ठीक है, एंड 48 GB रैम चाहिए, ठीक है? एक बेसिक एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ, मतलब दिस इज व्हाट माय कंप्यूटिंग कैपेसिटी इज, दिस इज व्हाट माय क्लस्टर रिक्वायरमेंट इज, राइट? आई वांट अ 16 सीपीयू कोर एंड 48 GB रैम. सो हाउ डू यू वांट टू सेट इट अप? इस पूरी रिक्वायरमेंट को आप किस तरीके से डिवाइड करना चाहते हैं? क्या आप इसको 2 नोड बनाना चाहते हैं जिसमें आप 8 सीपीयू और 24 GB रैम लगा दो, या आप इसको 4 नोड सेटअप करना चाहते हैं जिसमें आप पर नोड 4 सीपीयू लगाओ, ठीक है, और कितना हो गया, 12 सीपीयू, 12 GB रैम, राइट? या इससे भी छोटा लेके जाना चाहते हो? लाइक इट डिपेंड्स, लाइक हाउ एग्जैक्टली, दिस इज व्हाट यू से, दिस इज माय क्लस्टर रिक्वायरमेंट. लेट्स से मेरी जो एप्लीकेशन चलने वाली हैं उसके लिए मैक्सिमम रिसोर्सेज यूटिलाइजेशन इतना होने वाले हैं. तो हाउ एग्जैक्टली डू आई हैव टू सेट अप द क्लस्टर इज एक्चुअली गेट डिफाइंड, राइट? ये आपको सोचना पड़ता है. दिस इज समथिंग विच यू हैव टू डू द एनालिसिस, राइट? ऑब्वियसली दिस इज द मैक्सिमम कैपेसिटी ऑफ अ Kubernetes cluster get supported, but then again, what kind of cluster do you want to run, right? Do you want to run the large scale nodes, or do you want to run the small scale nodes? Like what do you want to do, right? तो अभी हम उस चीज़ को बाद में डिस्कस करते हैं. पहले एक बार क्लस्टर के आर्किटेक्चर को समझते हैं कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली द Kubernetes cluster looks like, and this is how the Kubernetes cluster looks like, guys, right? ये आपका Kubernetes cluster है. इवेंचुअली हमारे पास दिस इज द बेसिक 3 नोड क्लस्टर यू आर सेइंग, और मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द प्रैक्टिकल इसी चीज़ पे करने वाले हैं. There are 3 types of machines, like there are 2 types of machine. The first machine is known as master, the other machines are known as nodes, ठीक है? आप इनको वर्कर नोड्स कह लो, ठीक है, या आप इनको मिनियंस कह लो, राइट? दोनों टर्म्स काफ़ी यूज होते हैं. यू कैन आइदर कॉल इट एज द मिनियन नोड्स और यू कैन call it as the worker nodes, right? Both the options are available to you. So you got master, you got minions or worker nodes, right? So master node, as you can see, is basically what you call is the main management server node, the control plane of your entire Kubernetes cluster, right? That's what the master is all about. Master is that main server node, right? So it contains a lot of services, right? It contains a lot of services. Obviously in सारी services के बारे में we have a chapter to cover up later on, right? We are not going to understand the entire stuff today, but yes, I'm just going to give you the basics of the stuff what we have, right? So there are basically, when you talk about the architecture of Kubernetes, we got the control plane, right, and the worker node. So the control plane is basically what you call the master, right? Now on the control plane you have couple of components. You got this, the API server first, you got the scheduler second, you got the controller manager third, and you have the etcd fourth, right? So these 4 components are responsible, right, for managing the state of the cluster, right? Whatever the stuff which is running inside your Kubernetes cluster will eventually be managed by these daemons or services, right? But at the end of the day, when you're talking about the applications, right, the applications which are supposed to run on your cluster, the applications are not going to run here, right? The applications are going to run on the worker node. And on the worker node, you got a couple of more services. You got the kubelet, you got the kube proxy, and then eventually we have the Docker, the container runtime, obviously. Right? So these are some standard what you call components which will be available for you. ठीक है, ये कुछ standard हैं, ये तो मिलेंगे ही मिलेंगे. इसके अलावा depending upon the requirement, you can have the Kubernetes DNS, the dashboard, the monitoring, you know, और सब कुछ है, the ingress controllers and all these things. But as of now, when you're talking about this is what the setup looks like. Right now,
So can you also tell us about this pod and difference
सर ये तो
between
पूरा
pod and container?
ये तो पूरा chapter है. The next chapter is all about this, right? So don't
Okay.
worry about
Done.
it. Right? So this is the application. This is where your applications are. Okay? This is what your applications are.
So Vishal, here on just for my understanding, like for a master node, these three services, which is API server, scheduler, and controller manager, and etcd, so they can sit on one physical server that can be a master server and then master node, and then minimum two of the worker node. Each node will be running kubelet service and kube proxy.
Right. Yes. That would be the case.
Okay, so these two services like kubelet and kubeproxy, they'll be sitting on both the worker nodes or on
All the worker nodes.
single worker
All
node?
the worker
All the worker
all,
node. Okay.
whatever the
Okay.
worker nodes you have. Okay?
Okay. So minimum
let's
three nodes are required in that sense.
Yes, minimum 3 nodes.
Okay.
The worker nodes, there are 2 worker nodes which are required to provide the reliability. Obviously, master is the control plane. This is the basics of Kubernetes setup, right? Obviously, this is what you call a single control plane setup. Okay? You may have multiple worker nodes in the picture. If in case you're talking
But
about
this is bare minimum required.
हाँ मतलब this is the bare minimum required. This is what you call a single control plane structure, right? In which you're talking about a situation that I'm just gonna run a Kubernetes cluster in the testing environment. Probably in the production environment, you may have a high-end cluster where you're talking about running a multi-master setups and all, right? And that's possible as well. We'll be discussing that thing in details later on, right? But for now, just to give you the basic ideas about all these, what exactly they do, ठीक है? एक लाइन में इनको समझ लेते हैं. Obviously, we are going to discuss about them in details when we are going to focus about the Kubernetes internal later on, but not right now. For now, let's just give you the explanation in one liner.
Okay. Thanks.
This API service, okay, it's the endpoint. Endpoint for whom? The users who are going to try make a request for a Kubernetes cluster, right? अगर वो Kubernetes cluster से बात करना चाहते हैं, कुछ भी करना चाहते हैं, तो they are going to make the request and the request will land on the API service, right? When a user is going to make a request for an application और आगे चल के आप जो components पढ़ने वाले हो, the resource जो आप पढ़ने वाले हो, कुछ भी अगर आप करते हो, whatever you do, right? All those requests will eventually land on the API server, right? All those requests, ठीक है, जो भी request. In fact, जो इंटरनल सर्विसेज भी हैं अगर उनको बात करनी होती है एक दूसरे से तो दे ऑल्सो इंटरेक्ट वाया दी API service itself. Like suppose that the scheduler has to talk to, as you can see there is just one arrow, the scheduler has to talk to the etcd, it has to go to the API service, right? मतलब API service is it's like an endpoint on which everybody is going to interact and talk to. The next is the scheduler service. As the name suggests, responsible for scheduling. ठीक है, it is responsible for scheduling. क्या schedule करेगा ये basically आपकी applications को schedule करेगा guys, right? It is going to schedule the application, right? कल को जब हम pod वगैरह पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है, तो आप समझोगे कि pod basically आपकी applications होती हैं, right? And where exactly, like there could be n number of worker nodes on your setup, right? Where exactly that application is supposed to go, right? Where exactly that particular application is supposed to go, on which particular node it is supposed to go, that's been maintained by whom? That's been maintained by the scheduler service, right? That's been maintained by the scheduler service. The next one, you're talking about controller manager, a service responsible for managing the state of your cluster, right? The state of your cluster. अभी हम लोग state of your cluster के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. We are going to study about the state of your cluster later on, because eventually you'll be talking about a lot of resources which are supposed to be created, maintained, and managed inside the system, right? So the service responsible for doing all those things is the controller manager. As I told you, this which we are going to talk about in detail, in a lot of detail, when we are physically going to talk about all these components in infrastructures later on, right? Next thing, right? We are talking about the etcd, right? When you're talking about the etcd is basically the database, guys. This is the db. Okay, it's a key value distributed db, right? So when you're talking about a key value, इसमें अंदर जो data store होता है, it is not stored as an RDBMS, it's not a table, it's more like a key value stuff, right? Inside which the data is stored in the forms of key and values, right? आपके पास एक data जो आएगा वो key में जाएगा, value जाएगा एक उसमें जाएगा, that depends upon the stuff, right? So हम लोग इसके बारे में भी पढ़ेंगे. We'll be trying to log in into the key value as well, at how exactly it goes and works, right? So that's something which we are going to understand later. Correct. The next one is the kubelet. Kubelet is the service which runs on the worker node and responsible for accepting any request coming from the control plane. So this behaves as an agent running on the client, right? This behaves as an agent running on the cluster, right? ये आपके cluster के अंदर जो आपका agent है उसके ऊपर बात कर रहा है, right? So this is the one which is responsible for accepting all the requests from the customers and work according to it. And then you got a kube proxy service responsible for managing the networking part, right? So whatever the networking related thing which is supposed to be done or managed inside the worker node is something which is going to be done by the kube proxy service. And last but not the least, you got these two. So these two stuffs are basically your application. You got Docker, which is the container engine, obviously, right? And this is basically your applications running on top of it. Right, guys? So this is more like a basic setup, right? Basic setup, basic infrastructure setup in this.
So, Vishal, just maybe a basic question only. So, as we understood till now, Kubernetes is a kind of orchestrator, right? So, something we took example, something like vCenter in the VMware world, right? But in VMware world, vCenter used to only do the VM automation, right? So, it used to just move the VM around, create the VM or whatsoever required at the infrastructure level, I would say, right? Now, here what we say, if user needs to connect, so you have now a new thing called API server. I don't think that was there in a VMware world, right? If user needs to connect, it will connect to application. It will directly land onto the VM with the IP or the DNS name or whatsoever way, right? So there the API was not there at all. So maybe if you can just give us a similar kind of example why API is now introduced.
Now the question.
Yeah.
The user is going to use the application running on the VM, or the user is going to manage the VM. There are two scenarios. Application के लिए तो यहाँ पर भी उसको API पे नहीं जाना ना. Application के लिए तो यहाँ भी वो directly आपके container पे ही जाएगा.
So this is what user you said. Then
user is basically going to do two types of work. Either he is going to use the application hosted inside your container, or he is going to manage the container.
Admin.
When you are making a request for managing the container, you have to go to the API server.
Okay, so then we say that user and admin basically. So this is for admin to manage the infrastructure basically, correct?
नहीं, ऐसा भी नहीं है सर. मतलब VMware में भी तो आप vSphere क्लाइंट या vCenter पे आप यूजर्स बना सकते थे जो अपने VMs को मैनेज कर सकता था.
Those are admins only, na Vishal. User, generally we say user means application, और administrator group is read write. जो भी आप multiple admin बना सकते हो. किसी को read है, किसी को write है, किसी को super admin है, something like that.
मेरे हिसाब से यूजर सी, अगर आप VMware की भी बात करो, मैं आपकी बात समझ रहा हूँ व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, बट इन द VMware as well, see, I haven't worked upon VMware in a long time.
No, I'm just differentiating user. When you say user, one user is application user. The application running within my VM, that's what he is going to access.
Right.
Second set of user is admin user who will manage this whole infrastructure, vCenter, VM,
So
server.
you can consider the same thing here. The administrator user is going to talk to the API server. The application user never going to go to the API server. You can understand the same thing here, if that makes.
Just for simplicity, maybe going forward, once we learn more, we will have more clarity. Yeah, for
Hey,
now, yeah.
this is the exact thing. There is no confusion on that. This is the exact thing which happens. Right? So
Okay.
one is the admin set of users who are going to make the application, and the second one would be the normal users who are going to use this application. Simple as that.
Okay. Done.
So in a nutshell, we can say that the application user is not going to touch any layer of the control plane where the API server is coming into the picture, right?
He should not.
Okay.
He should not. But that depends on what kind of infrastructure, what kind of setup an admin user is offering to him. Okay? वो भी हम बात करेंगे. We'll talk about that thing as well, that how exactly the setup works and behaves.
Okay.
Right? Now, the next one. How to set up the cluster. Right? What is the basic requirement, right? What is the basic hardware requirement for setting up a Kubernetes cluster, right? Obviously, when you're talking about the production environment, you should have, certain configurations with respect to the setup, right? The minimum setup, as you can see over here, right, is basically this one, where you're saying that the master node, right, your master node should have at least 1.5, sorry, 2 GB of, sorry, 2 CPU core, right? You say 1.5, इसको 2 कर लो, right? At least 2 CPU core आपके पास होने चाहिए सर, अगर आप अपने master node की बात कर रहे हैं, right? If you're talking about 2 CPU core, then it is more than sufficient, right? So, and this is responsible for handling what I think मैं वैल्यू भूल गया, एक मिनट रुको मैं आपको देख के बताता हूँ. So when you're talking about the master node at least requires, when you're talking about the configuration, 2 is the minimum, but the recommended would always be 4 CPU core, right? That was the configuration which you at least require, right? आपको basically इतना 4 CPU core तो आपको चाहिए ही चाहिए. And अगर इस 4 CPU core पे आप बात करोगे कि how many pods can you run, right? When you're talking about running the number of pods or the applications, जो भी हम बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? You're talking about what was that? 5,000 pods आप चला सकते हो इससे, right? And then for additional 1,000 pods, not 5,000. Sorry, my bad. This is not 5,000. This was, sorry. So when you're talking about the minimum CPU core, let me just put it like this way, right? So the minimum CPU core, right? The minimum CPU core which you can run like on the cluster, the master node we are talking about, specifically the master node, right? If you want to set up a cluster in which you are going to run 2,000 pods, right? 2,000 pods. At the end of the day, how much CPU do you need? How much CPU core do you need, right? You can take it example as for every 1,000 pods, you required 1 CPU core and 1.5 GB of RAM. Simple. This is the basic calculation. Like for every 1,000 pods which you are supposed to run, right, you should have at least 1 CPU core and 1.5 GB of RAM. Correct? ये आपको चाहिए. This is the minimum, right? So you can keep on increasing the amount of resources depending upon the applications which you are going to deploy, right? So that's the basic stuff. Like this is what the stuff is. You start with 2 CPU core, and then for every 1,000 core, you keep on increasing the number of CPUs and the number of RAM, right? So minimum, as you can see, minimum CPU core is this one. The minimum RAM could be 2 GB, right? This is the minimum on which we are going to run the cluster. प्रोडक्शन में जो बेसिकली मैंने सिनेरियोज देखे हैं, दे आर 4 CPU कोर, 16 GB ऑफ रैम्स ऑन द मास्टर, राइट? On the master node, this is what you have. You have 4 CPU core and you have 16 GB of RAM to run with. And then on the worker node पे तो depending upon the application, कितने pod आप चलाने वाले हो, you can have the configurations depending upon your requirement.
So master itself runs as a container, or this is something runs on the bare metal application?
Master is a physical server, na?
Physical server. Okay.
It's a physical server. Yes, obviously the services which we learn, they are going to run in the form of a container inside it, but eventually it's a physical server.
Okay.
Okay, eventually it's a physical server, right? So I'm gonna set up the cluster on AWS, obviously. So I'm just gonna share my screen from the terminal. You guys can have it, see it.
We should follow you, or we should do
आप
it
recording
later?
देख के बाद में कर सकते हैं, sir.
अच्छा, ठीक.
You can have a look into that, right? So this is my AWS account, right? I'm sitting in Mumbai right now, okay? And we are going to set up a 3-node cluster, right? We are going to set up a 3-node cluster. So you need 3 machines. Launch instance. We're gonna use Ubuntu, guys, right? Ubuntu is much more friendly, to be very frank. You can set it up on CentOS, Red Hat, in case you want to set up the cluster. For me, it's always the Linux machines. And the reason why I'm following Ubuntu is because in the certification as well, the environment, the OS which you get to work with is Ubuntu. ठीक है, इसीलिए ये कोर्स हम उबंटू पे रखते हैं, क्योंकि पेपर में भी जो आपको ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम मिलता है जिसके ऊपर कुबरनेटिस क्लस्टर सेटअप होता है, वो उबंटू ही होता है. तो यू शुड हैव अ गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ वर्किंग ऑन उबंटू, राइट? सो आई एम गोना सेलेक्ट उबंटू. आपके पास 3 वर्जन हैं इसके भी AWS पे अवेलेबल. आपके पास 20 है, 18 है, ठीक है, एंड एट द एंड बॉटम में यहाँ पर 16 भी है, राइट? आप तीनों में से कोई भी यूज़ कर सकते हो, जो भी आपको यूज़ करना है, बिकॉज ऑल 3 ऑफ देम आर फ्री टायर एलिजिबल. So I'm just gonna select the Ubuntu latest वाला कर लेते हैं 20, right? Certification में if I remember it correct, Ubuntu 16 आता है, right? तो you can set up your cluster like this. मैं अभी के लिए 20 select करने वाला हूँ. The first machine which I'm gonna create is the master machine. So for master machine, the configuration has to be 2 CPU core and 4 GB RAM, right? इससे कम पे चलेगा नहीं, ठीक है? तो उसको 2 CPU कोर चाहिए, तो हमने ये वाला सेलेक्ट कर लिया. ऑब्वियसली अगर आप इसे सेलेक्ट करेंगे तो दिस इज पेड, ठीक है, दिस इज पेड. द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस इज दैट इफ यू आर यूजिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर फ्लेवर यू हैव टू पे फॉर इट, ठीक है. बिलीव मी, ज़्यादा नहीं आता है, मतलब पूरे कोर्स को पढ़ने के लिए, प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए जो मैंने देखा है, मैक्सिमम हार्डली $4 से $5 आएगा आपका बिल, ठीक है. अगर आप मशीन को पूरे टाइम चला के रखेंगे तो ज़्यादा आएगा. जब आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी हो तब आप ऑन करो या सेटअप कर लो. 5 मिनट लगते हैं सेटअप करने में. इट्स नॉट अ ह्यूज टास्क, राइट? So you select T2.medium. Don't change anything on this window. It's exactly the same. Storage भी कुछ नहीं change करना है. Tags वगैरह अगर आपको देने हैं तो you can give the tag of this machine. I say name to be the master. Right? There are specific ports on which Kubernetes works. ठीक है. अगर आपको देखना है तो मैं documentation खोल ही देता हूँ. एग्जैक्टली यही सर्च करना होता है पेपर में भी और यही आता है, ठीक है. इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्पेसिफिक्स ऑफ द पोर्ट्स व्हिच यू आर सपोज टू ओपन, ठीक है, इन द प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट यू प्रोबेबली नॉट गोना ओपन अप ऑल द पोर्ट्स. तो अगर आपको करने हैं तो ये सारे पोर्ट्स ओपन होते हैं. ऑन द कंट्रोल प्लेन ऑन द मास्टर मशीन दीज आर द पोर्ट नंबर्स व्हिच आर सपोज टू बी ओपन, एंड ऑन द वर्कर नोड दीज आर द वन. देख रहे हैं गाइस, 10,250 हो गया, 10,251 शेड्यूलर के लिए हो गया, 52 कंट्रोलर मैनेजर के लिए हो गया. You talk about the etcd works on 2379, and then you have the API server runs on 6443, right? So if in case you want to configure the proper security group rules, these are the security groups, ठीक है. ये these are the port numbers which you can use. I'm not gonna do anything. मैं सभी को भी all कर देता हूँ. Obviously this is my private Kubernetes cluster, so no impact, no harm on this. Select all traffic. सबको चला होना चाहिए. In the production, like in the physical scenarios, you probably will look out for this. Debian launch की पे select कर लेते हैं. There you go. So this is one of my system, right? ये मेरा पास एक server ready हो गया, which is basically my master. I'm gonna launch 2 more instances because obviously we're gonna work on 2 more. Ubuntu ले लेते हैं, right? This one let it be to t2.micro because this is a worker node और मैं कोई high end application चलानी भी नहीं है. The number of instances which I want is 2, ठीक है? तो इसको 2 कर लेते हैं. Storage ऐसे ही टैग नहीं दे पाओगे इनके दोनों के साथ में. सिक्योरिटी ग्रुप अगेन आपको अगर स्पेसिफिक पोर्ट्स देने हैं तो यू कैन फॉलो द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. और फॉर राइट नाउ आई एम जस्ट गोना अलाउ एवरीथिंग एल्स. लॉन्च कीप एयर एस टैग select. You got your 2 instances running. Alright, so let's just put this one as W1 worker 1 and put this one as worker 2. So ये आपके पास 3 मशीन रेडी हो गई guys, right? These are your 3 boxes. Now what you need to do, you need to set up the cluster. Now how do you set up the cluster? मैंने क्या किया, अगर आपने देखा हो kubernetes.io/docs, right? This is the site which you will be able to access in the certification as well. So make sure that you go through this, right? Try to understand the documentation, try to take the help from this whenever you want to take it, right? The setup which I'm gonna do is हम एक single control plane setup करने वाले हैं, right? So single control plane, sorry planes नहीं, ठीक है, वो ले लिया होगा उसने, ठीक है, spelling में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. So this is the page which will be available to you. And look at this, it says creating a single control plane cluster with Kubedium. So you're gonna select this one. And यहाँ पर इसने सारी instructions दी हुई, and Kubedium maturity and all, how the alpha is. This is basically the Kubernetes versions which you're able to see, right? So ये पुराने वाले हैं. Before you begin, you should have more than one machine with this. You know, you should have Ubuntu or CentOS, 2 GB of more than RAM per machine, right? 2 CPU or more than a control plane. Okay, fine. Full network connectivity among all the machines in the cluster. Makes sense. ये हम लोगों ने सब कुछ कर लिया है. Do you want to install a single control plane cluster or a highly available cluster, right? So if you want to set up a highly available cluster, you can select this option. But for now, we are going to set up the single control. The first instruction is installing Kubedium on your host. So this is the stuff. आप इसको click करके दूसरा tab open कर सकते हैं. And this is what you need to do first. You need to install the Kubedium. So your machine should have any of these things. Ubuntu 16.04 से ऊपर कोई भी version होना चाहिए. सब कुछ होना चाहिए. Network adapter वगैरह बता रहा है. The IP tables, like if in case there is any IP table rules or something, they should not support it. So you just have to set it accordingly. The required ports are supposed to be open, right? In the firewall, we have allowed everything, right? You required a runtime, right? So you required a runtime. The meaning is that either you required a Docker, you required a container, or you required a CRI, right? आपकी machine पे कोई ना कोई एक runtime होना चाहिए, right? So you can always go back to the CRI install instructions, right? आपको Docker चाहिए, ये रहा, click on Docker, ये रहे सारे. सब कुछ इसी पे है सर. Everything is possible and everything is available on this. ठीक है, आपको कुछ अलग से नहीं करना है, right? So the very first thing which you have to do is you have to install Docker on all 3 of these machines, right? So the very first thing which you have to do is installing the Docker. Now I got 3 machines to work with, right? हम तीनों के पुट्टी ले सकते हैं guys. We can take the putty of all 3 machines, right? This is my master. आप लोगों को पुट्टी पता होगा how to take the putty because I am working on my Linux platform. I don't have to take putty. I can directly run an SSH command to get logged in. ठीक है, ये मेरी पहली मशीन है and this is my first machine. Sudo -i करना पड़ेगा to come on root. Set a host name to be master just in case. ठीक है, इसकी एंट्री आप etc host में भी कर सकते हैं कि this is basically your master machine. Just to give a proper name, ऐसा ना हो कि मशीन का नाम आपको कुछ अलग दिखे. Just log out, log in, and there you go. You are logged in into root@master. ठीक है, the same thing you are supposed to do on both the machines. host name worker1, okay, you got the worker1, and the third one just to resolve the stuff, right? ये मैंने worker 2 पे कर दिया कि 127 अगर मैं worker 2 को ping करूंगा तो it should give me the response back, right? Look at this. So all three machines are running. ठीक है. One is worker, one is master, one other one is worker 2. Now the very first thing is you need to install Docker on all three machines. As of now, Docker is not installed. Look at this. The Docker is not installed. This says that you can install the Docker IO. Okay. Now the thing is when you're talking about Docker, Docker का Ubuntu में अपना खुद का एक edition है जिसको docker.io कहते हैं, right? That's a Ubuntu community's Docker edition. In case you want to have Docker edition for what you call the enterprise level or all, right? तो उसके लिए हमारे पास Docker के दो edition चलते हैं. One is Docker CE, another one is Docker E, right? So this is the packages coming from specifically from OEM, right? जो Docker manage करती है company, उस company के through ये दो packages आते हैं आपके पास, Docker Community Edition and Docker Enterprise Edition, right? ये दोनों आपके पास आते हैं, आप इन दोनों में से कोई भी use कर सकते हो, right? For our specific practicals or for the certification as well, they specifically ask you to install the Docker CE. Right? The reason why I'm not installing the native docker.io, which is available in the Ubuntu machine by default, is because obviously there are a lot of issues with respect to the compatibilities of a lot of operations in 1.19, right? So we're going to focus upon the latest one, which is docker.c, right? If you follow the documentation, उस documentation में सारा कुछ दिया हुआ है. मैंने वो सारी की सारी चीज़ें अपनी एक छोटी सी स्क्रिप्ट पे बना के रखी हुई हैं, right? So they probably will ask you to run the apt update, will ask you to install these softwares, will ask you to add the Docker keys, add the repositories and get the Docker CE install. ये exactly यही steps हैं यहाँ पर देखिए. पहले apt update किया हुआ है, ये सारे software डाले हुए हैं. These are the softwares which I'm installing. Then you are adding up these keys. Look at this, Docker apt update से वो कर लिया. Then they are asking us to add a Docker repository, run the apt update again, install the Docker CE. Exactly यही है. ये चीज़ आपको करनी है, करो, नहीं भी करोगे कोई फ़र्क नहीं है. Then eventually they ask you to you don't have to worry about restarting the Docker because Ubuntu में automatically start हो जाता है, right? So these are the 4-5 commands जो exactly यहीं से मैंने ये यहाँ पे इसलिए लिख ली थी क्योंकि eventually बार बार चलानी होती तो I usually run the script on this system. So these are the exact step which, like in Ubuntu, these are the exact steps which you are performing, right? So this 5 steps will allow you to install the Docker CE in your machine. Any questions to here, guys? मैं इनको run करूँगा obviously, but I'm explaining you these 5 steps and I'm showing you where exactly you'll be able to find it inside the Kubernetes documentation as well, right? So the first step, like if I do a set a new for you guys, right? The first line, because I'm gonna run this as a bash script. The first one is you're updating the entire packages inside your Ubuntu machine, right? So that everything is in sync, right? In the latest form and all. The second one, I'm basically installing some dependencies packages for Docker to run. So these are some depending packages. The third one is I'm adding the Docker key inside the box, right? The packages which are supposed to be downloaded, they must be secure with some sort of keys and all. The third one, you're talking about adding the Docker repository in the system, right? The entire Docker repository will be added inside the system. And then you do an apt update, right? Again, once you added the repository, you do an apt update. Just check out the cache, right? So apt cache is basically in case there are some older versions of Docker which is running in your system, right? Or any older versions of Docker files which are available in your system, just remove them from the cache, and then eventually you get the Docker CE installed. right? So this commands are all about installing the Docker. The next, once your CRI is installed, right? Once your container runtime is installed, the next thing is you have to install these kubeadm, kubelet, and kubectl on all three machines, on all the machines. You have to install the kubeadm. This is the command for setting up the cluster, bootstrapping the cluster, initiate the cluster, right? This command is responsible for initiating the cluster. This is the component which we already know, right? This runs on all the machines and responsible for, quote unquote, sending the information, receiving the information, all that. And this is the command line utility, the kubectl, responsible for talking to your cluster, right? So the admin user, when they are going to interact with the Kubernetes cluster or the API service, which we have already studied, right? They're going to make a request from this kubectl command line, right? So this is what it is. Now, how to install it? ये command दी हुई है, देखिए Ubuntu में. You have to apt update, apt install, apt transport SLL. You have to curl, right? This is to add the keys. Then you have to install these packages. Simple, right? So the same instructions is over here as well. Look at this. You do a wget. This is to add the keys. This is to add the repository, right? This 11th number command. This is to add the repository. This is to do an apt update and then get the kubelet and kubeadm install. So मैंने वो सारे के सारे steps जो हैं simply एक file में लाके store कर लिए हैं. These are the exact steps which have been mentioned over here. Look at this. Right, so you're doing an apt update, running this, you're adding the keys, then you're adding the repository path, doing an apt update, getting the software installed, and then eventually you're making hold of these packages so that they cannot be, getting updated or removed from the system, just in case, right? So these are the commands. If you have a CentOS machine, this is what a CentOS looks like, right? So anything, right? Both the options are available, and this is exactly the stuff which I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to copy all these things, right? Rather than running all these commands manually one by one, I'm just going to go to the systems, open up a file. I hope everybody is aware with these Linux command vim a and b, guys. ये पता है सभी को?
Yes.
ठीक है, तो you do a vim a, ठीक है, insert दबाइए, paste the data, save it, run a bash a. Okay, shit, ये गलत copy. एक मिनट रुको, just have to remove. Okay, strange. You're gonna copy this, go to the master, insert, paste the data, save the data, and run bash a. So bash a, what bash a is going to do, this is going to run all those commands automatically. The same step has to be performed on all the machines. Save bash a again, third machine as well. This is what they ask us to do. I'm gonna run these commands. This is fast way, right? ये script मैंने बना के रखी हुई है, and this script is available on the GitHub repo as well. Right, so if you go to github.com/vsunny44, and this is the path 44, github.com/vsunny44. Go to Kubernetes repo. Right, ये यहाँ पे दिया हुआ देखो, install all.sh, install master.sh, like how to set up the cluster. Exact instructions have been given, and so you can always follow this one.
You copy paste this link in chat box also, sir.
Sure, we'll do that. ठीक है, इसी में आपको ये जो स्लाइड्स वगैरह हम लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं वो भी इसी में मिल जाएंगे आपको ज़रा, ठीक है. एंड आई कीप ऑन अपडेटिंग दिस. कोई पुराने प्रैक्टिकल्स होते हैं, कोई वो आती हैं, तो वो भी मैं इसके अंदर अपडेट करता रहता हूँ. Right, so look at this, the packages are getting installed on all three machines, right? You should see that इसमें Docker आ गया है. Look at this, now the Docker command is running, Docker PS and all, everything will run in this. The master has already been up and ready. We are waiting for the workers to be in sync. So the worker is also up and running. See, Docker is running on this machine as well. So worker 2 is ready, worker 1 is also ready, Docker आ गया है, kubeadm भी आ गई होगी. Look at this, kubelet commands are there. So you got the idea, 3 machines are running perfectly fine with the kubeadm. So that's the first thing, right? इसके बाद ये C groups वगैरह बोलता है, there are a lot of things, you do not have to worry about managing the C groups and all. Let it be. Come back to the main page, which is this. You already have the kubeadm installed. It's time to initialize the control plane, right? It's time to initialize the control plane. So on the controller, you have to run this command kubeadm init, right? You have to run this command kubeadm init. There are a lot of options with kubeadm init. So if I go back here, okay, यही command मैंने यहाँ भी लिखी होगी. You already have this command. So look at this kubeadm, ठीक है? You do a hyphen header. This is to bootstrap the cluster, right? This is to start the cluster. So this is the option init. Run this command in order to set up the Kubernetes control plan, right? So you have this option. With init, you can take a help as gain, and there are a lot of options which you can set up, right? कैसे आपको cluster boot करना है? Like how exactly do you want to boot the cluster, right? You want to boot the cluster with some configuration files, some control plane endpoints, some CRIs. इसमें से कुछ options हैं जो हम लोग आगे चल के पढ़ेंगे, कुछ options हैं जो आपको certification में different भी मिलेंगे, right? So you probably would have to define an option like you're bootstrapping the cluster, right? You're creating a cluster. Do you want some specific configuration, right? आपको कुछ specific, मतलब हो सकता है कि आप एक cluster setup कर रहे हो और कुछ प्री रिक्विजिट्स हों कि उसमें जो IP रेंज चलेगा वो इस रेंज का चलना चाहिए, राइट? या हो सकता है कि उसकी जो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हो पहले से किसी कुबरनेटिस क्लस्टर की कॉन्फ़िगरेशन चल रही है, यू वांट द एग्जैक्ट सेम कॉन्फ़िगरेशन to be uploaded in this Kubernetes cluster. So there could be a lot of requirements while setting up a Kubernetes cluster. If you don't want to set up it according to anything, you just run a kubeadmin init command, वो अपना setup करना चालू कर देगा. It will start setting up the Kubernetes cluster depending upon some predefined information which is already there in this, right? For now, we are just going to set up this one, okay? And the reason why I'm setting up this CIDR right now is because जो हम लोग CNI यूज करने वाले हैं, right? There's a topic of setting up a CNI as well, right? Which is basically what you call the container networking interface. That CNI requires this CIDR, ठीक है? ये एक सिंपल नेटवर्क CIDR है. आप ये इसको अभी से समझ के चलो कि जब हम जब हम VMware का क्लस्टर सेटअप करते हैं तो हम लोग उसमें एक VMs को चलाने के लिए एक नेटवर्क सेटअप कर रहे हैं, right? The same way when I'm setting up my Kubernetes cluster right now, I'm defining a specific network CIDR that this would be the network which will be running inside my pod network, ठीक है? Which would be running inside my pod. My VMs के जो मेरे VM का नेटवर्क स्टैक होगा, जो नेटवर्क बनेगा VMs के लिए, वो ये होगा 10.244.
Vishal, this is kind of a private network between the master and worker node.
Yeah, you can say it like this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the primary network. So you set it up like this. ये आपका init हो गया है guys, right? So the cluster is set up, right? अभी बात खत्म नहीं होती, अभी सिर्फ cluster setup हुआ है. उसके जो भी instructions थे, they all went into this file, right? तो जो भी उसने configure किया है वो सारा यहाँ गया होगा. इसमें आप पढ़ सकते हो कि उसने क्या क्या राम कहानी करी है, you know, all these things and all. इसी में नीचे it says your Kubernetes control plane is initially successful, right? Initiated successful. ये instruction आपको यहाँ भी मिलेगी. Once it is successful, right? ये सारा output आएगा. And last में यहाँ पर instructions आनी चालू हो जाएंगी. Like, see, this is the exact output which you get, right? Your cluster is initiated successfully. To start using your cluster, you probably would have to run these commands with the normal regular user, blah blah blah, and all these things. And then you have the join command as well, right? ये सारा कुछ आपको यहाँ दिया हुआ है, right? So this is the exact same output which you're getting in here as well. Right, so if I do a create cluster, they're asking us to run all these commands. So the first command which you have to run is this. Right, कुछ अलग से नहीं करना है, कुछ भी अलग से नहीं करना है. Do this home page. So what is $home? It's my home directory. You do a copy. मैं exact यही copy paste करने वाला हूँ. I'm not going to do anything extra because this is what they was. And these three things will allow us to run the Kubernetes command, right? So for admin configuration, you have some certificates and all. right? Those certificates you copied inside your user's home directory, right? Now these three commands are running perfectly fine. Try to run the command kubectl get nodes. अभी आपको एक master machine दिख जाएगी जो ready state में नहीं है. Why it is not in the ready state? Because you can read the instruction. You should now deploy a pod network, right? And for you guys, I'm not going to explain anything right now. I'm just going to set it up. ठीक है, ये एक सिंपल कमांड दी हुई है, एग्जैक्टली यही कमांड है. ठीक है, इफ यू वांट, मैंने जो अपने डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में बना रखी है, इट्स समथिंग लाइक दिस. ठीक है, ये कमांड मैं आपको बाद में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा जब हम लोग CNI के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट CNI, नॉट राइट नाउ. आई एम जस्ट गोना डू एन अप्लाई राइट नाउ. It's been applicable. You just have to restart the kubelet service. Right? ये कमांड आपको यहाँ मिल जाएगी. You look at this. ये कमांड exactly यही थी जो हमने अभी अप्लाई करी. This is the exact command which they have asked us, right? And उसके बाद आपको और कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. The cluster is set up. You just have to restart the kubelet service, and this is the command which you have to remember. Token create. Print join token, put this one. This would be the key command which you have to run on the clients on the worker node, which contains some information about the server, the API requester, the tokens, the discovery tokens, so that these worker nodes can be the part of this cluster. So you just run this command on the worker nodes. हो गया, ये वाला चला गया है. Do a top on this. This one should also be there. Do a top of this. Run the command kubectl get nodes. As of now, you can see your master is in ready state, but the workers are not. Right? Give it a minute or so. Right? Let everything get synced in. उसका पूरा database automatically update हो जाएगा. सब कुछ ठीक-ठीक चलेगा. And once everything is ready, you should be able to see that all the nodes are running perfectly fine and are in available state. Look at this. Ready हो गया है. This is how you set up a basic Kubernetes cluster, guys. Right? And all of these instructions, whatever we have followed, are on the documentation. कुछ अलग से नहीं किया, right? Obviously, this pod network जो हम लोगों ने भी define नहीं पढ़ा है, this is something which we have to understand in complete detail later on. So not right now. अभी नहीं पढ़ना है आपको. इसे हम प्रॉपरली बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे आगे चल के. करेक्ट? एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस?
Can you please paste the link of this documentation as well in the chat?
ये भी दे देता हूँ. ये तो सर्च करना सीखो सर. जितना सर्च करोगे उतना ज़्यादा बेटर रहेगा. इसको लिंक पे मत खोलो. Just go to kubernetes.io/docs and start using it.
Okay, good.
ठीक है. इनके साथ जितना फेमिलियर हो सकते हो उतना अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि पेपर में मैं लिंक पेस्ट नहीं करूँगा. पेपर में सर्च करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so make sure that you go and try searching out these things, right? Alright guys, so set up your cluster. We'll catch up tomorrow morning 7:30. All right, and then we'll start doing the work on this cluster. Right? So make sure that you run this command and paste me the output on the WhatsApp group that you have completely successfully set up the Kubernetes cluster today. Right, and once you did the setup, right, ये script 5 मिनट में रन कर जाती हैं. Right, so मैं तो usually cluster को delete कर देता हूँ. Doesn't make sense to keep it running because obviously charge लगते हैं storage के भी. ठीक है, so I generally delete the cluster once it is created. आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. if you want to terminate the cluster, your choice. if you don't want to terminate the cluster, it's entirely yours. Right, for me it's all the scripts which are available to me. I just have to copy paste the script, wait for 5 minutes, the entire cluster would be up and running. That's it. Right,
Then we will try to set it up. Hopefully this we will able to. If not, then
हाँ, अगर कुछ भी इशू होगा तो just paste me on the chat ना WhatsApp group पे.
yeah.
Right? Shall then guys. See ya. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.